Okay, everybody, welcome to another edition of WCW 2002, where it's the night after WrestleMania, and it's just another night over WCW, as it's the go-home show for Rising Fury. So let's see what happens. So first off, we've got a fun little three-way match on the pre-show, where Chris Harris and James Storm feature America's Most Wanted, defeated Skipper and Romeo, and Mamaloops in 1502, when Chris Harris defeated Kid Romeo by pinfall with the Catatonic. 40D minus, it's a three-way match with a bunch of people who aren't that over. So there you go. At least to get some wrestling time, even though I'm not using them on the regular show so far. Next up I'm not really using you in ring this cycle, so have some pre-show match. Hoovy defeats Disco in 10:23 with the 450 splash, and Hoovy got a 59, Disco got a 44, so that makes sense. So then we have the actual show. Oh, okay. Hoovy debuted a new Hope Shot. Good job, Hoovy, building psychology. Thanks, Johnny Ace. Anyway, so basically we have sort of a meeting backstage where we have Scott Steiner, Ric Flair and Jarrett from the Horsemen, the tag champs, Storm and Awesome, and they're just all talking. They're coming to an agreement that they've got big matches at the pay-per-view, but they need people to soften up. So the Steiners agree that Rick Steiner will take on Chuck Palumbo tonight. Jarrett will team with the tag champs to take on Alex Wright, Ray Jr., and Kidman. And also, Scott Steiner will prove his worth by beating up Norman Smiley, just because. So yeah, 91A, just your basic heels promos being evil, to set up some of the matches tonight and what else we're doing. So then we have in the opening tag match, we've got the Silver City Rollers defeating Tajiri and Jason Jett in 6:48 when Cash defeated Tajiri by pinfall after using a foreign object. So let's just say it was the Cruiserweight title. So really solid match, actually. Disco did some good work. I remember this from last week when Cash and Reno were beating up Tajiri, but Jason Jett made the save. But yeah, it was actually a much better match than I thought it would be. 61C. Cash got a 65, Reno got a 54. They're both boosted by excellent chemistry. Jet got a 52, and Sheer got a 49. But yeah, so that sets up the tag match. I mean, not the tag match, but the title match between Cash and Tajiri at the pay-per-view even more. And then after the match, the heels celebrate. Cash makes the belt motions, and yeah, as Tajiri and Jet, slap them out in frustration. 57C minus, perfectly good post-match angle. Then we have a backstage angle where basically Sting and Lex are cutting a promo together. How they're back together, better than ever. They're the legend of WCW. Vampiro Helms are new kids on the block, but they are WCW together. Your basic, here's Lex. He's a babyface. Trust him for now, at least. 75 B minus, not too bad. And then we've got Chuck Palumbo defeating Rick Steiner in 7:30 by pinfall. Just a straightforward win for Steiner. 56 C minus, nothing special, but nothing too terrible either. And then Palumbo is celebrating. Flair comes from behind, hits him with a nutshot and beatdown, and then as Stacy comes in, he grabs her and kisses her because he's Ric Flair, and of course Ric Flair would do that to Stacy Keibler. So 76 B minus, just again building up the Flair Palumbo match for Rising Fury. And then we got a freestyle segment where backstage, Ray, Kidman, and Wright are talking strategy, and there's still some tension, as Kidman's like, Ray, you've got a new shining partner. I'm still going after the U.S. title. Maybe you won't screw it up for me this time. Ray's like, come on, buddy. I made one mistake. We've been partners for years. Let's do this all together. But yeah, 67C plus. Not terrible, but none of these guys are exactly world beaters when it comes to the mic, so we're doing what we can. And yep. Then we've got Sean O'Haire defeating Shayna Moore in 4:29 with the Widowmaker, 56C minus. Your basic straight ahead, just total squash match. And then he celebrates and he cuts a promo on Douglas, basically saying, Douglas has never actually beaten him in the ring straight ahead. He's been attacking him, acting like he's the franchise. Well, O'Haire's, the future of WCW. 67C plus. So not too bad, actually. Again, building these guys up, they're, gonna need built future. Can't depend on Sting, Flair, and folks like them forever, unfortunately. And then we've got Jindrak and Stasiak defeating Conan and Fit Finley in 5:57 when Mark Jindrak defeated Conan by pinfall to Mark of Perfection. So there's your straight ahead heels go over quasi cleanly. So I imagine sort of like Don Marie distraction, and then Jindrak is able to hit the pin. But yeah, 67C plus, so not too bad. Conan and Finley sort of, I'm not gonna say carry things, but they were better. But got the crowd hotter. And then, so Jindrak, and Stasiak say they want to challenge for the pay-per-view, and out comes Air Raid, AJ Styles and Air Paris. They explain, they've been wrestling, before Nitro, in front of, WCW crowds, but they see Jindrak and Stasiak, whining, complaining. They never got a shot. Meanwhile, they're on TV almost every week getting title shots. So Styles and Paris said, why don't we, take you on at Rising Fury, and we'll see how, how much of the future of the tag division you guys really are. Jindrak and Stasiak basically laugh it off and say, okay, fine, we'll kick your ass at Rising Fury. 56C minus. Mark Jindrak looked good. Don Marie helped Stasiak, and Air Paris performed poorly. Yeah, Air Paris, you should really see the writing on the wall, buddy. Then we've got Scott Steiner defeating Norman Smiley by 5:21 by submission. That's 75B minus. So just a straight head squash. Like, this is just Steiner running over Smiley, and he just does a beatdown. Rants. Who's guys attacking him. Then out of the crowd comes, you see him, Randy Savage. Randy Savage back in WCW. He comes out of the crowd. He just drills Scott Steiner from behind, tosses him out of the ring as Steiner is shocked. Savage, cuts a promo, ooh yeah, the Macho Man is back in WCW, and, he's taking care of the trash like Scott Steiner, because he's still the Macho Man. He's still, the cream of pro wrestling, and at Rising Fury, he's going to prove he still got it, and that, back at Nitro, he locked Steiner out of the number one contenders match by chinning up his door just to make sure he had to face him. But yeah, 100 A star because it's Scott Steiner and Randy Savage. In 2002, they're still really over and really have lots of entertainment. And yeah, I'm actually going to change his name from question marks. I just want to make sure nothing weird happened as we were building this up. Then basically, we have backstage, Vampiro and Helms have an interesting conversation. By what that means is, they attempt to get together. Vampiro's like, Sting's still on my Deadpool list. Maybe it'll be Luger. And then you just go creepy. It'll be you two, Helms, eventually. Helms is like, come on. We both want to kill some legends. You're doing it in your way. I'm doing it in mine. So let's, hang together and then, take care of the Over the Hills tonight and then do it again at the pay-per-view. 84B plus. Horns of Vampiro was fantastic. Hooray. Then we got a match. Then we got, So Alex Wright, Ray Jr., and Kidman defeat Jarrett and Team Canada in 10:51. Billy Kidman defeated by Jeff Jarrett by pinfall to the Shooting Star Press. So solid match. 81B, actually a really good match. Actually, a shockingly good match. This is actually really fucking good. I'm actually somewhat surprised. Anyway, and then swivel hips. That's not a real injury? Okay, thanks, Terry. And then the babyfaces celebrate. 73B minus, so looks like everybody's getting along. Hooray! Nothing can go wrong at all, I'm sure. So then we have like a quick, basically backstage, like serious interview with the Rhodes family, Dustin and Dusty. They go over, Dusty's a legend in this business. Jerry Lawler was always nothing outside of Memphis. Then he tucked tail and went up north when things were no good there. And now that he got thrown out of there too, now he's coming to WCW acting like he's some sort of royalty and some sort of king of wrestling when, as Dustin said, if you got 2 hours out of Memphis, nobody knew who the hell you were, Jerry, until you showed up on Raw. I know WCW mention is usually bad, but be honest here. 59C, because not the best, but let's just take care of Dusty's gimmick change, and yeah, you got an average for the Lemich gimmick. So then, in our main event of the evening, main event match of the evening, Vampiro Helms defeats Sting Luger in 9-18 when Vampiro defeated Luger by pinfall after using a foreign object. So again, I'm imagining a nail in the coffin on the chair and a pinfall. So Luger got a 56, Sting got a 78, Helms got a 57, and Vampiro got an 87. So sounds like that Helms Luger match might be lower on the card than you'd think. But yeah, so the heels get a solid win, and then the heels celebrate. Helms, makes a motion that he's going to take out Luger at the pay-per-view. Vampiro, he talks about, Sting is still part of his Deadpool, as the camera fades to black. And then we have our actual main event. This got a 78B, and then, yeah, so contract signed for the pay-per-view. This is just big ending. We got Bischoff with Kanyon, DDP, and Booker T. Bischoff explains that, all three men have signed, no contact clauses for tonight. So then, they just cut promos on each other. Kanyon talks about how, he's the unpolished gem of WCW, and over the past year, he showed that he was being held down, and now he's the future of the Horsemen, and he's going to, show that by taking the world title. DDP talks about, he's still the people's champion. Doesn't matter if it's Kanyon, doesn't matter if it's Booker T. They're both going to feel the bang at Rising Fury, and Booker T's like, for, years, he never got a shot, but when he finally did, he did it correctly. He's won the world title. He's held a WCW banner high, and he has lost respect for Diamond Dallas Page. And he thinks Canyon's overrated trash, but he's still a Horseman member. So he's still dangerous, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the night, he's still going to be the WCW World Champion. 99 A-star. So then, so yeah, 88 B+. Actually, a really good show, which is good considering we're going into the pay-per-view. So not going to go to the news because there's something else I got to do here that I don't want you guys to see. But again, if you enjoy things, give me a comment, give me a like, go ahead and subscribe, or if you don't like things, let me know. Again, same thing. Comment down below, tell me what you're liking, what you're not liking, and then I'll see you in a little bit for Rising Fury, the next pay-per-view. So, see you then. Adios.